Hello and welcome to the Happy Little Futures podcast. Let's start by taking a nice deep breath in and out. So it's the middle of the summer holidays, pretty much exactly actually, and I just thought I would touch base, let you know how it's going at our end and where we're all at and what maybe I'm doing and adapting on a day-to-day basis to try and make things go a little smoother the next day. So, if you've been watching on social media, I have been doing a mindfulness activity with our kids pretty much every day. I set up a little box and put lots of different ones in, which has been great, and they've been picking them and enjoying doing them. We've mostly done these in the evening, which I don't know is necessarily the best time to have done it, but it's worked for us. It does mean that, unfortunately, then because I get consumed by bedtime, you guys don't get to see as many of them, because I'm like, I should put it on now, and then I overthink, and the ADHD kicks in, and it doesn't quite work. But we have been doing quite a few, and they're going great. So we're all enjoying that. And we've been, apart from the list, in general, it's been quite a mindful summer. There's been a lot less asking for the TV, which has been lovely. I did set sort of a boundary at the start that it doesn't go on in the morning. It goes on sort of in the evening when it would normally go on after school, maybe at lunchtime if we're in. We've mostly got out once a day, and that has worked quite well for us, even if it's just sort of for a walk around the corner or something like that. That's been a nice thing to do. And we've played lots of board games as well, which has been lovely. And the nice thing for us is that the kids are getting a little bit older, so they're starting to set up board games of their own accord and play those. And it's always quite nice having a board game because you're communicating with each other, sort of in that sort of unit, having a nice laugh. But also it's quite a mindful activity because you're paying attention to what you're doing. We are quite a board game geeky family, so we play memory quite a bit, but other than that, there's been a lot of top trumps actually, and quite a bit more Uno than normal. But other than that, we have mostly been playing things like Munchkin, and we've played Dice Forge and things like that, which, if you know, you know. If not, they take a bit of learning. But our kids, we have been teaching them for a few years now, so they're getting into it. And we've also had some lovely trips out to National Trust. We are National Trust memberships and members, and we've had a great time doing their summer of play and going out, and they've got lots of little Pokemon things, which my son is obsessed with Pokemon. So we've done a lot of that as well, which has been absolutely fantastic. Getting us out. We even, at one of them the other day, there was a pond, and we ended up lying down on the grass sort of next to it. It's a safe distance, but so that we could see into it. And we watched just the diving beetles and stuff like that, the pond skimmers, all of those. We watched them for ages, just going round in this pond, and the kids were fascinated, and they were completely absorbed. I did get a video. I haven't looked at it yet to see how good it is. If it's good enough, I'll put it on so that you guys can see what we ended up doing. But we literally just lay there, just on our fronts, watching the life in the pond, and it was absolutely wonderful. It's been a bit cooler, thankfully. She says, having been told that it's meant to get up to sort of 36 or 39 or something tomorrow. But I'm just keeping my head in the sand, and it will be fine. I'm on a lunch break from work. I'm doing a lovely session at Sense in Birmingham, and just sort of like going through and some mindfulness and different activities with kids. So that's fantastic. So I just thought, as I'm in a nice cool room and there's no kids around me, I would say hello. So in general, it's been a really lovely summer. However, I am struggling a little bit. I am dealing with a lot of sensory overload, and it's not the sort of thing that I would normally struggle with. But my eldest is having a lot of sleep problems. She was already struggling with sleep. I think I've mentioned that before. And she was struggling with sleep when she was at school. So nothing has changed as far as school or not school goes, which is everyone else's automatic response. Oh, it's because she's not at school at the moment. It's like, no, it's not because she's not at school, because she wasn't going to sleep until sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock earliest anyway. But I think sort of a lot of the ADHD's got like, there's a lot to answer for with that and stuff like that. But she is struggling, which means that, especially when my husband's away, which has been quite a bit so far this summer, I am not getting that downtime in the evenings to sort of just reset my mind more than anything. So quite often we hear about sort of parents staying up late because they just need to switch off for a bit. I am one of those parents. I do need that time, otherwise I really, really struggle. But because she's been up and down, by the time she's finally gone down to sleep, I'm not 100% sure she has gone to sleep. I don't know whether she's going to come down any second or not. And so I can't fully switch off. And that's really, having that moment to just sort of like slow down is, I didn't realise how important that was until I started getting quite overwhelmed. And then the kids are growing and our house is not very big. And we've only got one sofa. So then starting my mornings, they all come down and they want to cuddle, which is lovely. Except everyone is squashed onto this tiny sofa. And again, that's getting... It's sort of... I'm not finishing the day in the way that I could do with finishing it. And I'm not then starting the day in the best way because I'm being climbed on and getting overstimulated from the second I wake up. So that's proving interesting, because I'm finding that I am a little bit more, maybe not short-tempered or snappy, maybe a little bit snappy, but I'm struggling. I'm overwhelmed, basically. I'm getting a lot of sensory overload. It's a very small house again, and they get quite loud. We go into the car and they're very loud. We're getting better on the bickering, but there's been quite a lot of bickering. So it's been quite a lot. So how am I dealing with that? I will tell you after I've just said thank you to our sponsor, who is Rowan Fox. And Rowan Fox is a fantastic sustainable clothing brand who has all hand-designed, nature-themed, British-inspired nature as well, themed designs. And the clothing, the accessories, we've got mugs and all sorts, bags. It's all absolutely gorgeous, and the designs are absolutely fantastic. So head over to rowanfox.com, and that's on, and also on Instagram and Facebook. Head over to Rowan Fox, and you will see some of those fantastic designs and wonderful clothing, and I can highly recommend it. So what am I doing to help myself reset? I've been doing a few things. My phone has recently been shouting at me because it's not had a lot of space. So I have cleared the space on my phone, so I'm not being shouted at, that was getting to me as well, I have to admit. And I've recently re-downloaded Finch, which is a really good self-care app, and that is brilliant. So I'm using that again, which is helping me with just little prompts throughout the day, just to remind me to drink more water, to remind me to breathe and stuff like that. I was doing my 2-minute meditation in the morning. I've fallen out of the habit of that, which is something that I can be quite guilty of. And I'm going to try and get back into the habit of that. But other things that I've been doing is, even if I can't take that moment for myself, I've been trying to be more mindful with the kids. So that means doing things like reading a book, playing the board games and putting the phone to one side. I've been doing some colouring with our eldest, which has been lovely, and the others actually, but whilst we were away, my husband would put the younger two down and I would stay up and colour with her, and that's been helpful. I've also been decluttering, and I know that doesn't sound like the most relaxing of things, but that has been massively helpful, because it's helped me to sort of feel like I'm clearing stuff for me, if that makes sense. And slowly, actually, the house in general is becoming clearer, and the kids are starting to become a bit more autonomous with putting stuff away. So that's making a massive difference. And actually, I got them involved in decluttering their own clothes and sort of some of their toys and stuff, and that's been quite cathartic too. And I think it's an important life skill for them to learn, that we don't have to hold on to all this stuff. Like, sometimes just the memories are enough. So that's been really good, actually. And then just generally taking the moments where I can get them, listening to an audiobook. I'm a big fan of Gigi Pandian, and if you've not heard of her, she's got some fantastic series. So I'm re-listening to the Jaya Jones Mysteries at the moment, which again I can recommend. And because I've listened to them before, I don't have to focus too much, but also they're soothing to me. So that is becoming quite beneficial. That's something that I'm liking to do. So if I'm cooking or doing the kitchen or tidying up or whatever, I can just whack that on. So that's helping, because that's, again, it's something that is for me. I don't have to sort of like feel that I'm putting into other people at that particular point. And I've also started watching Clutterbug videos on YouTube. I've never watched her videos before. I normally just listen to the Clutterbug podcast, but I have been watching the Clutterbug videos whilst I'm sort of, again, prepping food, doing whatever. And that's been good, because actually it's helped me to sort of go, oh no, I can do this. And even though sort of the decluttering doesn't look like a lot at the moment, it will pay off in the long run. So that's been really, really good. So filling your cup when the kids are around looks different. It's another thing I've done, actually, is buy a water filter jug. And I have cold filtered water in the fridge, which our water's just started to taste a bit funny recently. So, and I only really drink water after my cup of coffee in the morning. So that's been a really nice thing to do, to sort of feel like whenever I make myself a fresh bottle of water, I feel like I'm treating myself to nice water. So there's been lots of little things like that, and generally just trying to plan our time and remind myself that it's important to have downtime too. So like yesterday, our plans didn't go ahead, which meant that then I was there going, oh, we should get out, and actually we didn't have to, and we played board games and watched a movie instead, and that was much better. So trying to just sort of talk kindly to myself, which is not the easiest thing when you're dealing with mum guilt, when you're dealing with sort of stress and anxiety of will they sleep, won't they sleep, have I tied them out enough, or things like that. So that's been really important. We were going to go camping last weekend. We'd been at the start of the holiday, we're hoping to go at the end of the holiday, and we were going to go camping, and I was like, actually, I'm too tired to go and set up a tent for a few nights and do that. So we stayed at my mother-in-law's, which was fab, and had some day trips out instead. And even just doing that was for me and my husband to not have to stress about packing up again and taking the stuff out and things. And I think that's important too, recognising where your boundaries are and what you need to do and what you think you should do and what you actually want to do or what you need for yourself. So I'm going to leave this one as a short one. But I just wanted to give you some food for thought. Just let you know that you're not alone if you're feeling overstimulated. You're not alone if everything's getting on top of you and you just want to go hide in a corner. That's completely normal. But just find those little things throughout your day that will give you even just a moment of, this is for me, I'm looking after myself, and we're okay. Because those are the important things. And take that time to be present with your kids and enjoy what they're enjoying, watch what they're doing, and just slow down. Try and put the phone away. It can get a bit hard when you're feeling overwhelmed, and it's normal, especially nowadays, to get stuck in scrolling and stuff. But if you notice where you're at and notice that you're doing that, just pause, put it down, try and just breathe through being present and reminding yourself that this time is precious. So with that, I'm going to leave you a nice short and sweet one for you today, and we're just going to leave with a nice deep breath in and out. And I have actually forgotten just to mention that if you want to try and integrate more mindfulness into your day, not only have I got the stuff online on Instagram and Facebook, the little things that I'm trying to put up as much as I can, but there's the Helping Kids with Mindfulness course, which helps the whole family to integrate mindfulness into their day. And I have been applying a lot of that throughout our weeks. and our days, sort of trying to integrate the right sorts of things for each child to help them to unwind and reground, and also for myself. So definitely head to happylittlefutures.com/courses, and you can find the helping kids with mindfulness, helping children with mindfulness course on there. So I'm going to let you have another nice deep breath now that I've done that ramble. Take a nice deep breath in and out, and have a lovely day.